So you've just signed up for Dash and logged in. The first thing you want to do is set up a new app. To do so, you can click this link or this button over here. Setting up an application is a snap. We're just going to give it a name, which is Fibonacci, which will become obvious in a minute. The description is optional, but I'll go ahead and fill it in, like a Fibonacci sequence. Only cheesier. Then we have to specify which kind of application we are going to instrument. So we can choose a Java daemon, a Python daemon, a Rails application, a Ruby daemon, a Sinatra application, or we can instrument some other kind of infrastructure with Sensor. We're going to go with Ruby, and we'll just add the application. And now our application is created, and we have instructions on how to proceed. Now we'll want to install the gem. We can do this just by doing sudo gem install 5runs-ruby, and make sure you get this source gems.github.com if you don't have GitHub set up as a gem server. Next, you'll want to require the 5runs-gem in your application. So you can see here I've got a little daemons script to start up my Fibonacci.rb application. So you can see over here the actual application. I've got a run method that just runs in a loop and grabs the next from my pseudo Fibonacci sequence, my Fibonacci sequence. You can see here the next method that generates a pseudo Fibonacci number. Then you can see down here at the bottom I'm requiring dash from my own application. So if I come over here and look at dash, then you can see the first thing I do is require 5runs/dash. So this gives us the actual gem we just installed. And next I'm going to put a guard around starting up dash because I only want to run dash when I'm in production. I don't want to color my numbers with metrics that come from runs when I'm developing the application. So I'm only going to run when this environment variable is set to production. And you can use whatever environment variable or string you want here. This is just a suggestion. So now we want to really instrument our daemon. So we're going to call 5runs-dash.start, and we're going to pass it an app key, and we're going to say here's our token. So we got this token from this screen over here in dash. You can see the token here. You can also get to the token by clicking here, and you'll see your token. So I'm just going to copy this token, paste it in here, and save that off. And then you can see here inside of our block that we were passing to start, we're specifying some recipes to use in our configuration. So we'd like to use the default Ruby the default Ruby recipe, which includes things like memory usage, CPU usage, etc. And then we're going to add our own recipe for our Fibonacci daemon. We're going to specify a URL that is basically just used to uniqueify recipes. So just in case someone else happens to come up with a Fibonacci application, this URL should make it unique. Ideally, this should be a domain that you control. So for example, if I was doing, when I do recipes for 5runs for dash, I put 5runs here. If I was doing them for my own personal use, I would put therealatom.com here. And then I have just a really simple metric here. I'm doing a counter. So the text that will display in dash is nachos, and this counter will get incremented every time Fibonacci.next is called. So whenever this method gets called, it's wrapped by dash, and a counter is incremented, and then once a minute, that data gets uploaded to dash. Now that everything's set up, let's start our daemon up. So we'll just set this environment variable to production so that our dash instrumentation will run, and then we run our daemon just like we normally would. And you can see Dash start up. It prints out its directory where it's uploading to, and you can see it's uploading an info payload, which tells Dash that a new process has started up. And here you can see the Fibonacci sequence getting printed out. And then just now you saw this page refresh, and this box used to say you're not connected, that your Fibonacci application hasn't connected, but now it indicates that it's successfully uploading data, and we can go look at reports for this application. So we create a default report the first time your application starts uploading data. So we can go to that guy and see all our data. So now we've successfully set up Dash to monitor our Ruby daemon, and the steps differ slightly for Rails applications, Sinatra applications, etc. But you can see that it's pretty simple and straightforward and doesn't take that much time.